Hi! If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my repeaters and subscribers, welcome my baby dinosaurs. And so for today's video, we're going to be talking about my Russian dream. We're also going to be talking about the Australian wildfires and things going on there. And then, of course, I'm sorry to notice the pattern of 2021 is following the same timeline as 2020. And so we're going to take a deep dive into that. Now, please know that this is just for entertainment purposes only. All right, so at the end of the video, if you are new here, welcome. We have a lot to get through today. So the first thing is that today is being live streamed on March 22nd, 2021 at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are new here, please know I have a deaf accent and I may have a hard time pronouncing certain words throughout the video. If you have a hard time fully understanding me, please consider using closed captions as your guide. Disclaimer: all information I give during this recording is simply my intuition, my understanding, and downloads information from the higher power. Again, like I said before, it's just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. Please know that when I read tarot, my intuition will give the card its meaning and not Google. Before I do any readings, I will always let you guys know in advance if I have an opinion about it. So also stay tuned to the end of the video. We have an angelic reading and 2 Easter eggs messages at the end of the video for you, so definitely stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna do some tarot, so don't worry. But I'm just gonna tell you about my Russian dream, and then we'll jump into this. Okay. Hi Jane. Hello Linda. Hello babies. I love you guys. This is gonna be a short live. I'm trying to mass produce videos so that when I have my surgery in April, I am able to upload on a consistent basis for you guys. So there's that. All right, so in terms of my Russian dream, I had a dream last night, and I'm not going to go into a little too deep because a lot of it is best put inappropriate for YouTube, so I won't be talking about that. But it was more like a sort of sexual abuse towards me with Vladimir Putin. But anyway, you don't need to know any of that. Anyway, so what I had this dream about was the Russian dream that I was studying abroad to another country. And what ended up happening was we were stuck into a classroom at my school. Now, it could be any school. I wasn't sure what school this was. But I was stuck in a classroom. And what ended up happening was we had like this thing. So you were not allowed to leave. So you had to, if you needed to go to the bathroom, they gave you a bucket. And you had to, do your little bathroom thing in that bucket, which is really disgusting and gross. We didn't have any food to eat, and we weren't sure if anyone noticed that we were quote unquote missing. And what ended up happening was that the reason why we were stuck there was because, all the countries like Russia and China and some other country was there, and they wanted to keep us in this room because they needed money. And so by keeping us in this room, it looks like we overstayed our stay in the country, but we never really left the United States. And so what ended up happening was, like, towards the end of the video, we were able to escape. It wasn't a video, it was an actual dream. Or a vision, I have no idea. And I was able to escape, and I went home, and, my parents didn't understand exactly what happened. It was by the time of Christmas, the house is all decorated and whatnot. And it felt really weird. It felt really weird because it just didn't feel like, I felt like the movie Caroline. If you guys have not watched that with the button eyes, that was really scary. Like, almost like as if I went to a different timeline almost. In this timeline, the Russians were looking for me because they knew I escaped. And it felt really uncomfortable because I didn't like what I was experiencing because, Vladimir Putin and all that. But as well, I was in a room, right? And they were trying to find me in my house. They were trying to find me. The Russians were coming. We were trying to clean the cars to try to get rid of like a glitter bomb. They put like a glitter bomb so they know what car I'm in. And so we were trying to wipe the car down. They ended up coming. And I had like a yellow shirt. And I had to hide until like behind the door. But by the time I was able to close the door, the car went by and saw me behind the glass door. And so they knew it was me because I was in yellow. So they knew where my house was. And so at that point, I was trying to hide in like there's a bed, and I was trying to hide underneath the bed. And the Russians were here, like they were walking around like the room and everything. And they were talking in Russian. Now I couldn't figure out exactly what they were saying, but I knew they were Russian. And, it felt really weird and uncomfortable. But at the end of the entire dream, all I knew, the takeaway is that I knew that there were 4 different types of drugs. And, each drug has an animal on it. So I think one of them, the rabbit, a turtle, a lamb, and some other animal as well. But each drug had like a specific animal associated with that drug. And so that's the takeaway is I don't know if this relates to the vaccine in any form, like the Russian vaccine. But then again, it does feel like there was something going on with Russia. Again, I don't know if this is just a dream and it has no particular meaning, but I wanted to tell you guys because it was quite interesting and also very uncomfortable if I did not say anything. But again, it's just a dream. Let's just hope everything's okay. Hi, Clarence. We're going to jump into the tarot part of this reading. If you guys have any particular questions, feel free to ask in the live chat as we will be actually doing some of your questions today. It'll be a short live, but okay. Anyway. All right, so the question I want to ask today is Australia repeating history? Or is it just a normal occurrence? And so, it's quite obvious that Australia's had these wildfires, but I find it very odd that it's happening almost in the same time frame as 2020. And so I want to kind of read into it. I don't want to go too in depth because it is a season and it's normal for the type of countries and arid areas to experience them. But I'm just wondering if, hypothetically, we were undergoing a repeating of history. So let's just kind of take a look. All right, so Spirit Angels tell me, are we repeating history or just a normal occurrence in Australia in terms of wildfires and natural disasters? What's going on now? And if you do live in Australia, I hope you are okay. I love you guys. Please comment below if you are from Australia. I want to make sure you're okay. All right, so we have here, betrayal reverse and 2 people leaving. I feel like there's just 2 timelines. Yeah, okay, that's what this looks like. It looks like 2 separate timelines. Okay. All right, so we have Australia undergoing 2 different timelines here. We have one where it's like betrayal in reverse. And we also have here 2 people walking away. And it kind of tells me right away that there's a split. So actually, this is actually telling me 3 timelines because there's one in the house with the money, right? The choice. Then we have here 1 timeline, and then we have a 2nd timeline. So this timeline is under Trump because it's having orange, and this one's under Joe Biden, right? Which is kind of cool, quite interesting to see this. We have here, we don't know about it just yet because we have to let the year play out before we make any full assumption that potentially 2021 might just be a repeat. We do have here as well, we do have the Ace of Swords here. And so what this is telling me that, yes, it looks like most likely it is a repeat because we haven't fully learned a lesson from 2020. We also have here, this also includes Joe Biden, so potentially, we may end up in, God bless Joe Biden, every particular area, but it does feel like as if, how Donald Trump got sick with COVID, or we could potentially see that with Joe Biden as well if history is repeating on a repeating stage. Now, this is just a likely outcome. Not everything's going to happen. So as we send light and we, pay attention to these normal occurrences, we can lessen the chance of it happening. And it does feel like in some degree, though, this is the vaccine. There will be 3 vaccines that's going to be hailed like the one that's really good. But I feel like what ended up happening, the reason why I'm asking the question is because 2021 and 2020 is like a mirror image. But 2020 was more like what life would be like if we had no leadership, where 2021 was like what life would look like if we have leadership, if you know what I mean. And so that's what I'm getting from this part. So the next question that we're asking is 2021 a mirror image of 2020, but shows what our life will look like according to our, proper leadership. Basically what I just said. And so there's that. And then, I only have a few questions, so there's not a lot of questions today. This was just a random topic. I was going to do a different topic today, but I felt like today was a good day to do this. All right, so Spirit Angels telling me 2021 a mirror image of 2020. Okay, well, there's 2 separate here that just flipped. What else do we need to know, Spirit Angels? All right, tell me. And is this because of proper leadership and not proper leadership between the 2 years? What do we need to know? what's happening. You know, you guys can tell me if you notice something. I mean, this is an out of the ordinary topic. I don't expect a lot of people to like this topic, but again, you know, things can very well change. I'm going to turn on the light so you can see me a lot better. So give me a moment. Where's the other light? All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so what we have here is we have like a very different timelines here. We can clearly see this, right? Hi, Greta. And so we have in this timeline, we had possibility for a new stimulus check. We have 3 stimulus checks so far, right? 3. There's money, there's a like pentacle. We have 3 stimulus checks, right? And this is around the time of Joe Biden, right? So here's Joe Biden, he's in reverse. Which told me that this talks about 2021 with the stimulus checks, but also that Donald Trump is also a main player in this as well. And we have here again, you know, this is all about deception taken away. We had a lot of ideas, a lot of the things that we were supposed to accomplish in 2020 was taken away from us. And because of it, it almost feels like in some degree we're repeating it, but for the better, because what we're doing is we're learning about what 2020 didn't work and we're improving it, if you know what I mean. We have here at this time in 2021, Donald Trump left the presidency. He is no longer in office, right? Which is why Joe Biden was reversed here, because he was not president in 2020. Now we have here the final outcome here is that a lot of people are not going to refuse the vaccine. And that because of that, we are going to be able to see things open up again. Things are going to get better. You know, a lot different than where 2020 was. It's not a direct repeat. It's a mirror image. It's about the approach to certain situations, the approach to certain problems that's different. Not so much the outcome is going to be the same, but our approach to certain things is going to be different. For example, you know, you can clearly see the same difference between, you know, Biden with Asian hate compared to Donald Trump with Black Lives Matter, you know, that kind of thing. The approach is different. The ideology is kind of the same, but the approach is different. And that's what really matters here. And that's what I'm referring to. All right, so the next question that we're going to ask is, you know, I've been having this, like, wonder because I have, like, some correlation to 2020 and 2021, is I want to know, will there be any sort of massive protests like Black Lives Matter, but for Asians? And I'm just really quite curious just to kind of see what timeline we might be witnessing, you know what I mean? So, of course, I hope this does interest you in some particular form or fashion. But all right, anyway, Spirits and Angels tell me, will we see massive protests, the likes of which we saw for Black Lives Matter in 2020, but for Asians? Final outcome. Okay, so we have here as well, that kind of plays into this. So there's 2 different scenarios of what could possibly happen. Yes, but also no. And that makes sense because you see here, right? When we went into 2020, the hate crimes against Asians were a lot lower compared to where they are now. It's rising, right? You can see it's rising. Even if you turn it this way, it's rising, right? But it's rising at a slower rate. But when you turn it, it's rising at a faster pace, right? We also have here as well the Queen of Wands here, and it's talked about spirituality. And what it's really all about right now is that spirituality between people who weren't able to become spiritual in 2020 with the protest because of Black Lives Matter. I was able to, you know, open up and become more woke to the things around me. And because of it, it has plunged me further to my spiritual path. And I wonder the same thing because we do have the spiritual card in the center, right? And we also have here as well, thank you, Marie. Thank you, Marie. And we have here as well as in the future, we have the Hermit. It looks like for me, because this is the card for me about this would be unpredictability. This is more like it's most likely the likely outcome as of right now with the current energies. Nothing can change as we go on. But what I'm also seeing as well is that what changes and alters this timeline and what happened with the Asian Lives Matter almost kind of thing. We have here is the Emperor reversed. And this is also about Trump. The thing is that Trump is going to play a big role in this, and so is President Biden. Now, Biden is going to be the type of guy who's going to, you know, do exactly what he did with Asian and say it's not acceptable, but he's going to push for reforms. The problem with this is that Trump is trying to push forth this social media and he's trying to have some sort of influence, which means that there could be a retaliation against President Trump. And, we could end up seeing a scenario where it's not Black people protesting for Asian Lives Matter, but really we can end up seeing a scenario where we could see people protesting against Asian lives, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about that in terms of Trumpers, like going out there and saying that these people's lives don't matter or something along those lines, or that's what I'm seeing. That there could be very, very different outcomes, and not really pertain to the former president and the current president and what goes around that. Trump does have a very strong pull on the Republican Party, and I can see that here as well. And so the next question that we're going to ask is, will we go all the way to the timeline of 2016, or will we be moving forward? So the question I want to go ask is, lately I feel like, some parts of us are going back into 2016 and revisiting that timeline, that same period, the thing that we were concerned about, like ISIS, the economy, things like that. Will we go back to 2016, or will we move forward to 2024 about those concerns and those issues? The question is that, will we have a Barack Obama type presidency where, those ideologies are so present in our modern world, at least in terms of 2024? Are we going forward? That's the question I would like to ask. I'm just explaining in a more deeper, sense. Thank you, Marie. Yes, guys, definitely don't forget to smash the like button if you do like this video. All right, so Spirit Angels tell me, are we going to the 2016 timeline, or are we moving forward? Okay. Are we moving forward? Or are we going to 2016? If you hear dogs barking, that's my dogs. Anything else? No, that's it? Okay. So we do have here again, it does feel like, some parts of us are going back to 2016. It does feel like that, and the cards seem to show that as well. We have here the Chariot. We were expecting Hillary Clinton to become president. And part of me always wondered if, if this was just a dream and that we were just experiencing this on a psychic level, or what would have happened had Trump won the presidency. Part of me feels like we're in a simulation, or there's some sort of dream where none of this really took place, and it's just a simulation or a psychic vision that we're all experiencing or undergoing. Now, we do have here the Chariot, right? This is the presidency going to the White House. They've been elected. They've been going for another term. We have here Biden, right? Biden's in the future, right? Because we have President Biden. However, it's reversed, which told me it's heading towards 2016. So a lot of our abilities, exactly what I said, within the next 4 years, if you really want to know what's going on with the presidency, look to 2016. Because 2016 is going to be the issue of everything that's revolving around everything. So 2016, everything that happened from 2016 onward to 2021, where we are now, is going to happen under Biden's presidency. But like I said, it's going to be a flip mirror, right? So, for example, what happened in 2020 is going to happen in 2021. Things that happened in 2019 is going to happen in 2022. So it's kind of like that mirror image. It's going in a reverse direction. But again, like I said, it's about the approach of leadership and how the difference is, right? Because remember, there is no way the likelihood of even this happened in American history, where in 2016, the results come out 306 for Trump, 232 for the Democrats. Then there's a mirror image of Biden winning 306 and the Republicans winning 232. There's a mirror image here, right? This is a clear distinction that under Trump presidency, we were supposed to witness the worst of America. Then under Biden, we're supposed to witness the best of America. Again, in 2024, we have to make that decision. What also goes back to my point is that, in 2024, we can end up in a scenario where a lot of our values in 2016 start coming back, but with the experience of Trump presidency, and say, well, is this what I really want for our country? It almost feels like this is a learning time. This next 4 years are learning, and still was the last 4 years. It was a learning time period. In 2024, it will be one where we will turn the direction of the country. Because please keep in mind, Pluto just got in Return of America's Birth chart. And that talks about deep change. America is the first country that hasn't undergone a Pluto return. And I talked about spiritual change, change in leadership, a change in government. And it also talked about like riot, protest, war, civil war potentially, even like a lot of those things, a lot of issues that the country wasn't able to solve needs to be solved. The question is are we going to be able to do that? And that's what's really important here. So continue on with the reading, of course. We do have here, we are going to end up getting out of this economic depression. It's not going to be as manipulated as it was in 2016. Part of that is that we getting out of this pandemic. So in 2024, we're going to be out of the pandemic by then, right? We're going to be out of the pandemic completely. And that's what's going to change. A lot of us are going to be more spiritual than where we were 8 years ago. And not by 8 years ago, I'm talking about 2016. And we do have here, again, we have to make a choice because our choice in 2024 is what matters the most. Like I said to you guys, and I say it again, 2024 is the most important election of our lifetime. I said that way before 2020. But 2020 doesn't matter about who won. What really mattered was 2024 because that's when we undergo the person who comes into power in 2025, January 2025. That's when Pluto is fully in America's birth chart. And the person you have in office will determine the rest of the path of the country. And at that point, the United States will be at 250 years old. And if you look it up on Google and ask how long did civilization last for, it will say 250 years. And so that's why I'm emphasizing this point. And again, it does feel like in some retrospect, there's no chocolate that, the chances of the two electoral college having the same exact electoral college outcome numbers is very rare to begin with. And so that's what's really important here. The question is, where do you want to take your country? But this is what's really important. So, of course, I'm going to open up the question to the live chat now. So if you guys have any question that you would like me to ask, we have 3 minutes to ask a particular question. I'll pick one. If you guys have a question, I'll go over it. Then, of course, I'm going to do your angelic reading. I have 2 brand new decks that I'll be using, but one of them I'll probably end up using only because one of them's love, and I don't know if you guys are interested in something like that. So while I'm waiting for you guys to answer your question, I'm going to start with your angelic reading. Then at the end of the video, we're going to do your Easter egg. So this one that we have here is, I don't know why Roxy's barking. It's bothering me, but anyway, we have the higher self oracle, right? Message that you need to know through your higher self and what's really important for you. So let's just ask the spirits and angel. What message do you want my viewers to know right now? What message do they need to know? Okay, I did not mean to bend the card. Okay, so for the message that you got here was, I keep seeing 111 everywhere. So if you are seeing this number, of course, it's a sign this is your higher self trying to communicate with you. If you don't know what your higher self means, basically your higher self is just your the best version of you trying to communicate with you. And it's crossed by you are changing your energy, so the world around you is shifting too. And they want you to know that the energy is lifting, the energy changing wherever you are. You probably feel this, you probably know this, right? You understand that it's changing. And that's the challenge. And that's what you guys want you to know, that everything around you is changing for the better. But the question is, how can you manifest? And if you want to know, I just saw an angel number on my live thing to tell me how long this video is going. It's 2424, so potentially look that up and see what that means for you, right? Hello, everyone. Since we don't have anyone asking questions, I'm going to jump into the Easter egg, and then we're going to end the reading, okay, guys? All right. Oh, for some of you guys who watched my video on my other YouTube channel, definitely know that, when you watch those things, it's not like this normal YouTube channel where you watch it and, messages will resonate with you almost continuously. On that channel, it's for everyone of all age groups, for anyone who needs the messages from now, when it's posted, to years, hundreds of years later, whoever needs that message is for everyone. I'm collecting their energy and, giving them messages that they need to know for the future. So just because something does not resonate does not mean, it means that it might not be for you. I don't think that all the other videos won't resonate with you. It just means that, if you watch those videos on a continuous basis, it's not really going to resonate because you don't really fit the mold of a pregnant woman, for example, if you are already past menopause, if you know what I mean. And so we're going to ask the Easter egg. Okay. You love the Easter egg? I'm so glad. You got the crystal right yesterday? Good. I'm glad. Okay, so we had this one, pink, which we asked you the first time. I'm gonna add different messages into these, so it's different a little bit. I have no idea what these messages are. Yes, I love it, though. I'll be doing another video, and then I'll be uploading it in April when I'm ill. Well, I'm not ill, when I have surgery. If I'm saying ill, that's weird. Unless I am going to get sick again. All right, so pick one you want. It's a color like a watermelon. We have green here, and then we have pink kind of thing. You kind of close your eyes, pause the video if you're watching this on replay, and kind of figure out what messages really resonate, what egg draws you to them. I'll give you a moment. Okay, so for the green one, we have, so if you pick the green one, they want you to know your worth. Know that you are worth it, that you are valued, that you need to be valued, and that, understand yourself that you are loved, and that you need that, and that's what we really need right now. Then we also have here as well, if you have chosen the pink egg, I think it's called. I don't know. They want the angels and your guides want you to know that they appreciate you and that you are an amazing being. Now, this could also refer to your soulmate, your lover, potentially whatever it is. They want you to know that they appreciate you and everything that that you stand for. So just know that you are appreciated and you are loved. All right. So somebody asked me, Carol, I know I looked to start your question now, so I'm just going to do your question. You asked, what does Earth have for us? So if you not have checked out that video, I highly recommend it. I have no idea what is going on with the dogs, so I do apologize on their behalf. Okay, I don't know what's going on, so again, I apologize. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad. All right, so Spirits, Angels, Timing. What other messages do you have about Earth for us? What does Earth have in store for us? What do we need to know? Okay, so they want us to know that Judgment Day is upon us, right? Judgment Day, and it talks about climate change here. We have here as well, we have judgment, right? So, the climate and everything that's going on is all about the judgment and the way humans handled Earth, right? So the way that, if you're in like a particular area where, they would use solar panels and stuff like that, you're going to see less aggressive disaster or world natural disaster, where just say you're on the, in a Pacific area in like, the United States that doesn't really take care of their environment, then it does also appear that will be the case as well. So it does appear that if you are in an area where it does not have, they don't take care of the environment, then you're going to experience a lot more natural disasters at a higher rate. Again, this is in the past here, talking about the Queen of Pentacles, and this is the Republican Party in the presidency. That's in the past, right? However, what we have here is in the future, right? It's telling us with nature that this is Mother Nature, right? But this is also Kamala Harris. And here's my incumbency card, but it's reversed, which telling me that Kamala Harris is not the incumbent as of right now. And so as of right now, when Kamala becomes president, there's going to be some natural disaster that's going to take place that she's going to have to handle. And so that will be really important here. And so then again, when I read Tarot, it just kind of gives me the background area and information. So of course, if you are interested to see what timeline, Kamala Harris might come into, she'll probably come into power during a time when the country's in a national world crisis or something like that. So of course, that is entirely up to you. Fit it where it best puts your intuition or something like that along the line. But all right, I'm going to end the video. It is 30 minutes, and I know you guys only like 30-minute videos, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you and have a very beautiful night. I'm going to be posting on my other social medias to help raise the vibration. Then I have to do some mass production in terms of taking other videos, pre-recording videos for you guys for the month of April. Remember, month of April, I won't be going live at all. So definitely take advantage of my lives. And so I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you and have a very good time and have a good day, my sweet babies. Bye.